Good morning and welcome to the donut shop at the beginning of the world. Hello, tribe. I am your host, Dr. Mark Merriweather Vorderbruggen, broadcasting live from another room in my parents' house up here in Minnesota. So today is the day I head back to Texas. Things seem to be doing well here. And tomorrow, the first batch of the Medicine Man Plant Co. stuff is supposed to be made. So it's time for me to head back. Hey, good morning, Kim. Yep. So I'm in what's known as Dad's office. So this is his office here. And there's the kitchen. And there's the stove everyone loves. Okay, swing back. Everyone got motion sickness. Yeah, so I'm going to leave probably as soon after this broadcast as I can. So it's probably going to be like 9:30-ish. Vehicles mostly loaded, but Minnesotans say goodbye over the course of an hour and a half or so. It's like you say goodbye and then you take 5 steps and then you say goodbye and you take 5 steps. And unfortunately, my vehicle is parked, kind of a ways from the house. So it's going to take us a while to get there. Hey, good morning, Terry. Good morning, Melanie. Good morning, Joe. Hey, Carrie. Hey, Chrissy. Yep. So that's the plan. So I'm trying to figure out the way to go. Because I would have to drive through Minneapolis normally to get to 35. So I take, we're right off 94. Take 94 to 35, 35 to Dallas, and then, 45 home. Oh, hey, Dana. Oh, it's nice up in St. Cloud. It's a beautiful morning out. There's dew on the grass. It's like 68 degrees. Sun is shining. There's supposed to be thunderstorms rolling in, though. Hey, good morning, Mike. Yeah. So the problem with driving through Minneapolis, besides it's like rush hour and congested as all get out, apparently there are more protests scheduled to close down the freeways and stuff there. So I'm thinking, yeah, Chrissy, yep. So there are protests that are scheduled for today. There were some yesterday. It's pretty much an ongoing thing here. So I'm actually thinking of taking the hypotenuse and heading west to Sioux City, Iowa, picking up 29, and then taking 29 down to someplace. Hey, okay, Ingrid, I will call you Ingrid. Hey, Curtis, good morning. So I'm thinking, again, rather than sticking to the main freeways, just taking back roads a large part of the way. In fact, there is 75 that runs parallel to 29, and I'm thinking that might be kind of nice to take. My plan is to make it to Imperia, Kansas, and crash for the night there. Oh, you want the ceiling? I don't know if you can. It's wood slates. Yeah. So there's that. Hey, good morning, Grackle Art Gallery, Fort Worth. Yeah, I use Waze, but so I use a pay-as-you-go phone plan because we can't afford real phone plans. And so I found Waze chewed up my data too quickly. So, hey, good morning, Jordan. Good morning, Curtis. Good morning, Cleo. Good morning, Jennifer. Cool. The tribe gathers. I hope you have donuts. Supposedly, Dad was going to make me bacon and eggs, but he's sitting there reading the newspaper. Oh, well. Yeah, this is what's defined as a cute house. I had to move. I hope the AC, we have a window unit AC here, so hopefully it's not too loud. But where I was set up normally in the kitchen, Mom was afraid she would show up. So I moved out of love. Hey, good morning, Kimberlyn. Good morning, Julie. Hey, Mike. Oh, yeah, no problem. Hey, Mark. Oh, West Africa. Wow. That's a long ways. It's like night there. Hey, good morning, Missy. Oh, it's both a cute and a gorgeous and a practical house. And frankly, like a zombie end of the world sort of house, except for the location. It'd be a really good house for that sort of thing, especially if we uncapped the well down in the basement. Oop, oop. Apparently, Dad gave my bacon to Mom, but that's good because that means Mom's eating. All right. What is hanging upside down behind me? That is, if you're talking about this, that's a fake fern. So Mom always had the house filled with houseplants, but over time, it was just easier to replace them to fake ferns. And then behind me, this thing on the wall, this dark splotch, that is a wooden cutout of Alaska. So, hey, good morning, Amanda. Noon still. Okay. Yeah, that's right. I always forget that China is a lot farther away than like Africa and Europe. And so I had to be more in tune with China than with, like Europe and Africa. So only noon. Wow. Cool. What else? So let me see if I can show this. So there's a counter here. And growing up, we had 2 aquariums on there filled with like the neon tetras and the guppies and so forth. And that was great. And it was always fun to sit there and watch them from the dining room table and so forth. And the fish swim around. And then one morning it came out and one of them had cracked and there was water all over the floor. And after that, I don't recall what happened to them. Okay. All right. I know what you're talking about. I have a cabbage tree in the pot right now because I moved. I have these weird little yellow mushrooms in the pot. No, they're not going to hurt the tree. They are going to help the soil and then actually free up more nutrients for the tree to use. The scientific name has an L. The first word starts with L and the second starts with B. I don't remember exactly what it is. But if you actually Google, what are these yellow mushrooms in my pot, it will bring it up. It is an extremely common mushroom that is found in potting soil, and so then it pops up in people's houseplant pots. So if you just Google that, it will bring you right to. Oh, hey, good morning, Stacy. 2 days off, nice. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so if those yellow mushrooms are extremely common, I get asked about them a lot, and I have a little copy paste thing that I use to answer. But I don't remember what the name is because I've been copy pasting so long. Ooh, apple fritter. I like the apple fritters. No. I think those days are pretty much over for the folks' house here. Apple fritter. What was I going to, so I don't know what Kelly was responding to, but right now in my backyard, in my parents' backyard, there are cleavers, there are dandelions, there are chickweed. There are different things like that. All the winter weeds down in Texas are summertime weeds here. Yeah, that's it. Thank you, Ingrid. So the yellow mushrooms in the pot are blah, 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 blah. Leucoprineus burnbalmi. There we go. We'll assume I pronounced it correctly. Let's see. Here's a good question. We like tag material and sourcing. That's a good question because I assume you want something that is weatherproof. Okay. They make these thin metal garden. Okay, so it's mainly used for gardening. It's a little spike, and it has replaceable little metal flags on it, and the metal flag is very thin, and it includes a tool to scribe the name of the plant in the metal tag. So the gardeners, they have a weatherproof tag. So look up metal garden name tags, metal garden name tags. And that should bring it up. And I think that's probably the best thing because it's very durable. Once you scratch it in there, it's weatherproof. It doesn't go away. You can stick it in the ground next to the tree so you don't have to nail it to the tree. Or if you really want, you can use some zip ties and zip tie it to a branch, something like that. But that would be a good way of doing it. Oh, okay, okay. Now I know you, Mark. Okay, so this is another person someday I need to have on the show. Texas Wild Colors. He makes a whole bunch of watercolor paint pigments from Texas plants. So I didn't recognize your name at first, Mark. I'm sorry, but once you mentioned the foraging experiments and Texas Wild Color. So yeah, definitely cool stuff. Follow him on Instagram. Mark, are you, if they like look on Instagram, Texas Wild Color, will they find you? I think they will. What kind of wild indigo sources there exist? So there is the false indigo. And I want to say we might have some true indigo, but I don't think so. There was something else though that came across an indigo color. Dang. Let me think on that. There was some, I just came across it recently, and I was a little surprised by it. But it was like for making a blue color. I'm sorry. I should have like made notes of that. All right. Let's see. Okay, yeah, lots of people apparently have the yellow flowers or the yellow mushrooms. Definitely sounds like a Harry Potter. It almost sounds like a spell or something. I guess it could be one of the people. Probably a Slytherin. Okay, here's a great question. How do you intentionally propagate corn smut? So corn smut is a fungus. It's this big tumorous look. It's nasty looking that grows on corn, but it's considered a delicacy. And I will tell you, Grackle Art Gallery Fort Worth, that I have been trying to infest my corn with corn smut for quite a while because I want to try this stuff, and I have never been successful. So at this point, I do not know how to propagate corn smut. That being said, someone recent? Heidi up in San Antonio. Her corn once again got infected with the corn smut, and she had posted some pictures of it. But yeah, and doing it intentionally, I have not figured out a way to propagate corn smut. I wish I could. Hey, good morning, Serenity. Good morning, Chris. Burn balm would be pear. Oh, interesting. Okay, burn balm. So I wonder if it was first found around pear trees or something. That would be cool. What's this? Love me. Ooh, something. Methylchloral hexylate. Yeah, I can say that. That's easy. Oh, okay. So hey, Mark, you have a fan. So, yep. Cool stuff. All right. So, yeah, let me know when you're back. Well, I don't know. Maybe we could even do it via the like Zoom. Well, not Zoom, but the StreamYard sort of thing. But if you're open to it, if you want to talk about it, Mark, let me know, and we'll. The more people I have on my show, the less I have to talk. But my goal is to have really cool, interesting people, and artists are always really cool and interesting. Oh, okay. So, Jonathan, I'm going to go. So, if you can hold off, you can do what's called air layering, and it's basically the branch you're going to snip off at the base. You strip the bark, put a wad of like peat moss around it, and then like a. I need to set my coffee down. Goodbye, coffee. So you have the branch. Well, probably like a. Aha. So you have the branch, you peel off around the branch like a, almost an inch strip, and then you put a wad of ball moss around that's soaked wet, not like dripping, but damp. Soak it, squeeze it some. So it's hard. This is the hard part. Knowing how much. There we go. How much water to have there. But you have the ball of ball moss, and then you wrap that with like saran wrap or plastic or something to keep it sealed, and then you just leave it there for several months. And usually then the branch will put out roots, and then you just snip it off and stick it in the ground. They actually make these balls that clamp around the branches like that. Now, if you look air layering balls or air layering containers. You'll probably pull those up. Ooh. Okay, it's a minor contact for a person who has COVID. I'm freaking out about this. Hopefully, Joe, your hubby doesn't have any secondary health issues, because it really seems that's the main thing. And also remember, like 60% of the people who get COVID never even develop any symptoms. As they test more and more, they are finding the transmission value to be a lot less than they first thought, and the like the danger level also a lot less. So, Ingrid, encephalomyelitis, Okay, big words, big word. Okay, this morning on the Donut Shop, we are discussing our favorite big words. Of course, my favorite is Vorderbruggen, but hey. Let's see. No, I haven't. I've been waiting for the ones at the local Home Depot to go on sale, because I want to try them. But I know the kits you're talking about, and I actually looked at the reviews on Amazon, and they seem to have a very high success rate. As long as you follow the instructions, as stated on the back of the package, you actually get like 2 or 3 harvests of mushrooms. So it's definitely on my list of things to do, and my list of things to do is longer than Santa's naughty list, but it's definitely there. Okay. Oh, here's so did I have to take Latin in college for my degree? No, but I was required to take a year of German back in the so a lot of the really big chemistry scientific literature was in German. And so to be able to read that scientific literature, all the chemistry majors at South Dakota State University, I don't know if they did it at other universities, but at South Dakota State University, I was required to take a year of German. All that I remember of that is Welche Farbe ist die Bleistift? What color is the pencil? But at one time I was weekly conversationally, I had the ability to like talk German to Germans, and they would laugh, but they would understand what I was saying, and I was able to go back and forth. But then, once I left South Dakota, I never read it again or spoke it again, really. But part of the exam to get the chemistry degree was they gave you several German articles, scientific articles, and then they tested you on the concept. What was this article about? What were the chemicals? That sort of thing. And so, you had to be able to read a German scientific article and then answer questions on that article, but not Latin. Yeah, I understand, Joe. That's just the COVID. It has so much bad publicity and so forth. But okay, everyone, we need to pray for Joe's hubby, that he doesn't come down with the COVID. But I'm pretty sure that he'll be okay. Okay, here is Mark's. So Texas Wild Color. If you want to follow cool watercolors made with Texas plant pigments, I assume also, Mark, you use some minerals there too. But beautiful, beautiful stuff. And you also have a store where you sell the different pigments, don't you, Mark? Or is that kind of shut down until you get back from Africa? But definitely, okay, cool. So yeah, we definitely need to have a show with you, Mark. I think that would be fun. Especially, and then if we get Mini Weather involved, because she's the artist. Oh, okay. I'm going to run away and grab something and run back. All right, let's see if you can see it. So this is the last time we were up here. Mini Weather drew a picture of Dad cooking at the stove. probably bacon because Dad cooks a lot of bacon, and so there's their quick rendition of the stove and Grandpa. So, and that's hanging now on the wall in the living room. Let's see. Oh, okay. Question. My pear trees are loaded. Any tips on harvest and how to ripen? Okay, so I don't know the answer to that, Kelly, because I hate pears. We actually have a big pear tree growing in the backyard. Mom planted it when we were young and thought, ooh, everyone loves pears. And it turns out, no, not everyone loves pears. So I've never paid attention to telling when the pears are ripe or anything like that. Sorry. Oh, here's a good question. Any ideas how to contain wild dewberries and mint? No. They the only thing that might work is what are called root barriers, which is basically like 2-foot tall sheets of fiberglass or metal, like stainless steel, that you bury down in the ground around where the mint and the dewberries and blackberries are growing, because these things grow by runners and they spread under the soil and they go everywhere. Now, the root barriers, they are designed for bamboo. That's where I learned about them, trying to contain bamboo. I was looking at growing bamboo, and they said the only way you can really do it without taking over the neighborhood is you get these big root barriers that you put around it. So that's probably the only thing. Mint, if possible. Oh, if you have room, Stacy, and you're willing to do some work and change your yard around, look up herb spirals. Herb spirals. And actually, if you go to oh wait, you know what? Let me jump over here. Actually talk about it over on the, okay, here we go. At the bottom of this post, go up, but yeah, you're gonna have to somehow contain them, like even plant them in pots in the ground or something else. But dewberries in particular, they run for tens and tens and tens of feet. I had some dewberries in my yard a decade ago. I tried getting rid of them 7 years ago, and they are still popping up all over my yard. So it's a problem. And if maybe like you could try growing the dewberries in grow buckets or earth boxes, which are these dual layer boxes with a water reservoir beneath and the plants in top, and grow them in that. And they make some pretty big earth boxes, but you need something to keep the roots from getting down into the soil and spreading. And that's really the only thing I can think of. But let's see. Nick Blackman. Yes. So thank you, Nick. Nick, by the way, is one of the owners of Wazoo Survival, who is paying for the StreamYard account, and so allows me to do these things every morning to you with a lot less pain and agony than I was doing with Zoom. So thank you, Nick. Okay, yeah, so the branches, the young branches of willow, the bark and the wood is loaded with gibberellic acid, which is the hormone that tells plants to make roots. So what I do is I take a pencil sharpener and grind up a bunch of pencil-sized willow branches, soak the wood shavings in water, and then use that as a rooting powder. Jonathan, back when I was talking about air layering, it would work really well if you mix some of the willow water or even willow shavings in with the damp peat moss right up against the part where you strip the bark on the thing. But yeah, the willow wood, especially the younger, like the pencil size. If you know anything about willow, if you just stick it in damp soil, it starts to grow because it is loaded with gibberellic acid. Okay. Let's see. A pear tree, raw. Cool. All right. So Mark's agreeing to be on the show. All right. Yeah, no, yeah. And I'll tell you right now, you're probably safer over in West Africa. Oh, ethylene diamine tetraacetate. That's an easy one. Ooh, maybe a canning variety. Oh, that makes sense. Serenity. So with the pears, maybe, I guess there are varieties of pears, so maybe it'd be one that's more designed to be stored in syrup or something like that, or canned. Wow, lots of comments. Yeah. 2 years of Latin. Cool. Vitamin D. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Joe, make sure your husband gets lots of sunlight, lots of elderberry, lots of vitamin C. Das ist gut. Yes. So, okay, here's another. So the German teacher, she was German, kind of scary, but you would say something in German, and then she would respond, "Not really," or some. It sounded like she was saying "not really," but it was like "not really." I don't know what it was, but it took me a while to translate. Like she wasn't saying you were close; she was actually saying, "Yes, you got it right." Ooh, cool, certainly. Yeah, I can believe that. So there's a thing that says if you learn languages, if you keep learning new languages, it keeps your brain fresh and strong. Oh, Wright County Police just went tearing by. And so my plan is to later on learn different languages. Whether I actually do that or not, we'll see. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Wow. Okay, so I'm way behind in the. Oh, what's this? Okay. Here's an. Do figs have same? Oh no. Well, you know what? That's actually a good question. That's a very good question, Russ. So figs are another one of those trees that roots when you stick it in the ground. So it's quite possible, Kevin. I've never seen any studies on it, but go ahead and look up fig tree gibberellic acid and see if there's anything in there and report back to the class. But it would make sense. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I have to check into that. Like moringa might also have that because that's another one that you just take a branch and stick it in the ground. Hey, good morning, John Mark. Yep. Oh, so funny story. Oh, wait. Mom and Dad might hear this. So 2 blocks away were the Damers, and they had older kids. And so one of them, and I can't even remember his name, Terry Damer? Yeah, Terry Damer. Terry Damer used to babysit me and my brothers. Fast forward to many years later, to when I was about 17, had a driver's license, and I was speeding because that's what 17-year-olds do. And I got pulled over by a cop, and he came marching up to the car, and he could see it was a kid driving the car, and he came marching up to the car and said, "Give me your driver's license, give me your license." And I handed it. And he looked at his, and he went, his attitude completely was, "Hey, Mark, remember me? I used to babysit you. It's me, Terry Damer." And it's like, "Oh, Terry, hey, dude, how you doing?" And so we talked for a while, and he said, "Okay, dude, slow down. I'm gonna let you go." But yeah, I wonder if Terry is still a cop around here. Yeah, Turk's Cap is another one that basically roots when it touches the ground. So maybe even Turk's Cap. But I know the willow has a measurable amount of gibberellic acid, and it's used to make rooting powders. I don't know about Turk's Cap and fig. It'd be an interesting experiment. Oh, hey, Tina, have you started reading up and watching the videos on chromatography? Because I need you to get up to speed if we're going to the next level here. For the grapes. That's an interesting question. Is honey a rooting agent? I don't know. I've never heard about that. That'd be a question for uncommon bees. I wonder if they know. I think if uncommon bees knew if honey was a rooting powder or a rooting agent, that they would sell a honey-based rooting agent. But I'm going to ask them if I remember. I should probably drink more coffee. Let's see. Okay. Oh yeah. Good. Okay. So can I talk about Tina here? So Tina is trying to measure the actual concentrations of the different herbal components in her tinctures, and the best way of doing that is separating out the different components and then measuring how much of each component was in X amount of tincture that you put in it. The easiest way of doing that is what's called slow sand chromatography, where you have a big long column packed with sand and you pour a little bit of your stuff on the top, and then you pick the right solvent. That it's almost like a distillation column, because different molecules have different affinity for the sand, and so as you flush them through, they start together, but they start to spread out as some molecules go through quickly, others adhere more to the sand, but you can get a good separation. It takes some time because you got to figure out which solvent mixture and stuff like that. But it's cool. Oh, wait. Hey, everyone. We got to wish Serenity a good day. Good day, Serenity. First day of nurse refresher class. So the tribe is there with you, Serenity. Be a good nurse. The world needs good nurses right now. Hey, good morning, Leonard. So have fun there. Oh, it's 7:58. Read about this last week. Okay. Yeah, Tina is awesome. I'm going to turn her. Yeah, gas chromatography, exactly. Where with gas chromatography, it's usually like I did the thin capillary tube gas chromatography where it was just adhering to the sides. But the slow sand, it's like the original way, but it's still. I spent hours and hours and hours in the lab in South Dakota separating out components from banana peels and also from mushrooms for science. Just want to make that clear. So, of course, I'm going to embarrass you, Tina. That's one of the rights of the teacher. Moringa, yeah. So moringa is, Kelly, one of those plants that you just stick a branch in the ground and it starts to grow. So I'm wondering if it too is loaded with gibberellic acid. All right. Ooh, I need my coffee. So just an update. I'm going to be on the road tomorrow morning, but Minnie Weather said she is going to do the donut shop. I don't know if Mrs. Weather will be with her or not. And then I doubt I'm going to be home Wednesday evening in time to do the show. But Minnie Weather said she would even, she's thinking she'll probably be able to do it if she doesn't chicken out. And I gave her the recommendation of talking about different books that have inspired her. I will say one thing, at the Catholic high school that she goes to, they have an amazing literature department that reads some really awesome books. And so they've been books that she actually found value even as a teenager, and actually has said there are certain things she was glad she learned at this age rather than much later in life. So hopefully that will be what she talks about. Okay, everyone, it is time for me to shut down. Thank you so much for being with me here at my parents' place. It's the home. Oh, let's see. I had to get Mom in. All right, all. So I will see you Thursday, but the show goes on even tomorrow. Love you all, and thank you again for being here with me. and end broadcast.